Alright, so today we're going to do this thing where I'm just going to look at some of the recent news articles and tweets about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and I'm going to give you my first-hand reaction. Why? Because I'm not really prepared. But you guys really matter no matter what your friends say behind your back, and I want to keep you guys updated with as much crypto news as I can, and I'm working on my consistency, because I appreciate you being consistent and watching every one of my videos. But first, let's take a quick look at some charts. Looking here at the Bitcoin daily chart, you can see that we have actually broken down below this trend line, unfortunately. And it looks like this MACD is actually starting to cross to the downside again. And this is a trend line that we've bounced off of several times here in the past year already. But it looks like it might not be holding up right now, as we have actually broken down for the second day and even closed a day below it. But don't get too discouraged yet, because we haven't actually seen any volume coming in to confirm this breakdown. And this is actually only the logarithmic chart. And if you look at the linear chart here, it actually looks like the trend line should be a little bit lower. And if I do adjust it here to be in line with these previous swing lows, then you can see that we actually haven't broken down below it just quite yet. And it is kind of coinciding right here with this 200-day moving average, which could be a level of support that could catch us before we go down to $25,000 again. And until we actually do break down below this 200-day moving average, I'm still bullish, because we still haven't ultimately made a real significant lower low here. And we won't even make a lower low until we get below 25,000. Also, I was talking about how September is almost always a red month. So even if we do see a little bit of relief and have a bit of a pump here in the next couple of weeks, we still could give back all of those gains and ultimately come back down to turn this 200-day moving average into support before we go for the next leg higher, because, as I said, obviously September could take us down there. Now on to these quick news reactions. Here we have an article, it looks like from Reuters, that says Coinbase wins approval to offer crypto futures trading in the US. This is kind of interesting because we have been seeing the SEC approve futures Bitcoin ETFs, but they're trying to go against basically anything that's spot, and they don't want the actual retail investor to be able to get their hands on these kind of currencies. It looks like they still want the big dogs to have all of the control. And while this could get more people invested basically in a proxy for cryptocurrency, it's really just another sign of what the SEC and the government really want you to be able to get your hands on. Here we have an article by Cointelegraph that says Ledger announces the US PayPal integration and lets users buy crypto from within the app. This could definitely bring some more people into cryptocurrency, making it more likely that they'll actually trust the platform that they're buying from, but they shouldn't trust it anyway. And with all of these so-called cold storage wallets, and especially Ledger, integrating with centralized big-time businesses like PayPal, it kind of makes me trust Ledger just a little bit less. So in my opinion, this is good news that it might actually bring more people in and make it easier for people to buy. But it's bad news because it's also just giving more power and more backdoors to big centralized entities like PayPal. I don't think this is going to cause any kind of security risk necessarily. I mean, I don't really know how it's going to work necessarily. But if you do go in and buy some cryptocurrency off of PayPal and get it on your Ledger wallet, just make sure that you're not giving them any kind of crazy permissions whenever you sign some kind of smart contract to transfer your funds. Here we have an article by CoinDesk that says PayPal to stop crypto purchases in the UK until 2024. The company said the pause is due to the UK's financial regulators' upcoming stricter rules for the crypto advertising, which will come into effect in September 1st. I don't know if this is going to have any real negative downward pressure on the market, but it is kind of interesting that it's happening on September 1st, which is the beginning of the reddest month of the year. Anyway, it goes on to say payments giant PayPal will temporarily pause crypto purchases in the UK, and the company said that customers who have previously purchased crypto assets through their PayPal account can keep them on the platform or sell them at any time. But starting on October 1st, the ability to make new purchases will actually be disabled. In my opinion, this probably won't really matter that much. Honestly, it's just one avenue that's being closed off and only to one place. And like I said previously, people shouldn't be buying their cryptocurrency through PayPal anyway. But I guess the news has been kind of slow this week, so this is what I got. Anyway, going on to Twitter, or X, I mean, actually, here we got a tweet from Michael Saylor that says if the spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved, the clearing price of Bitcoin is going to be above $150,000. And here he has a clip.
I always like hearing your price targets because you are so fearless. Where are you on Bitcoin by the end of next year, let's say?
Well, if the spot Bitcoin gets approved,
Yeah.
I think the demand will be greater than the daily supply of Bitcoin. And so the clearing price, this is done by Sean Farrell, who's our crypto digital strategist, is over 150,000. It could even be like 180,000.
But that's only if the spot, only if the ETF gets approved.
Yeah, and
so
US,
this is a big if.
a spot US, because
Right.
a spot Bitcoin ETF is approved outside
Right.
the US.
Okay, but if it's not approved.
That's true. I pretty much agree with that. I would say that Bitcoin could definitely go over $150,000. And like I said, we could see the biggest and the last bull market of this magnitude that we'll ever see again. We might not ever even see another bear market like we've seen with 80% crashes, because with these big institutions and the biggest asset managers in the whole world getting into the space, I don't think they're going to be panic selling like we've seen previously. Also, she says that this is only going to happen if if a spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved here in the United States. And with BlackRock actually putting in their application, I think they're probably going to get their way because they are the biggest asset manager in the world and they pretty much run everything. Here we have a post from the Bitcoin Therapist, and it says Peter Schiff is explaining nearly a decade ago why Bitcoin is actually better money than gold, yet somehow he missed it. Let's hear what he had to say.
I think the idea behind Bitcoins was to digitally replicate gold, kind of a gold standard for the internet. Gold 2.0, as some people have alleged. And, if you look at Bitcoins, the way they come into existence is that they're mined, just like actual gold. You mine them into existence. And just like mining gold, when you mine for Bitcoins, you actually expend real resources, real energy. There is a cost associated with creating a Bitcoin, just like there is with gold. In contrast to central banks that create pretty much limitless amounts of currency for nothing, out of thin air, at virtually no cost. And also, like gold, there is a limit. There is a scarcity in that there are only 21 million Bitcoins that can be mined into existence.
Yeah, I mean, that's not really what he sounds like these days. He sounds a lot more pessimistic on Bitcoin now. And he is right whenever he says that that's pretty much why gold and Bitcoin both have value. It can't be printed into oblivion like the dollar can or any other fiat currencies. And you actually do have to put resources into making them. So both gold and Bitcoin are scarce hard assets, but Bitcoin is basically just the digital version. I actually don't know if Peter Schiff has missed out on Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised if he does have some. He just talks against it and he tries to promote gold because he has a big gold fund called Euro Pacific, and he's really just trying to make you buy gold. And if you spend all of your money on Bitcoin, then you're not going to buy his gold. I'd like to know what he does with the profits after he sells all of this gold. He might actually go and buy Bitcoin with it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And let me know what you guys thought about the format of today's video, because I really didn't have anything prepared. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. This is Abisu. He's named after one of the 7 lucky gods of Japan. According to legend, he will bring wealth and prosperity to anybody who evokes his name. So don't forget to write his name in the comments, or you'll bring dishonor to your whole portfolio. And check out this video right here. Say goodbye, Abisu.